Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another revisit review and slash anniversary review for another film from 1993 of the 25th anniversary. I decided to revisit this film because last year, 1992, I revisited that film for its 25th anniversary of Beethoven. So now, 25 years later, the next year, I'm revisiting on Beethoven's Second, which I enjoy. I enjoy the sequel. Now, like I said, I've already revisited Beethoven, but we're just quickly revisiting this for the 25th anniversary. Came out during around this time during the Christmas season. The film was a success worldwide, made of $818 million worldwide. Critically, not much though. It has a 23% Rotten Tomatoes, which I disagree with, and I think it has a 5.8 or something like that on IMDb. I give it much higher ratings though, to me. Directed by Rod Daniel, who in 2016 he passed away, sadly though. But he also directed Teen Wolf, like Father Like Son, K-9 with Jim Belushi, and that also the piece of crap sequel Home Alone 4. But I really enjoy this film. I like Teen Wolf and I like K-9. I haven't seen Father Like Son though, but the whole original cast comes back. Charles Grodin once again as Mr. Newton. So same as Bonnie Hunt. The same with the children come back as well. Christopher Kessley as Ted. Nicole Tom as Rice. Sarah Rose Carr as Emily. And Ivan Reitman comes back. Director Ivan Reitman comes back as the executive producer, as he did for the previous one. And I enjoy the film. I reviewed it though, but I'm saying I enjoy the film still. 25 years later, still a fun family film. How about it? Like how it opens up with Beethoven, this dream. Each of the family members giving a piece of meat, but it keeps on getting bigger and bigger until Charles Grodin gives like, Beethoven, I want you to have this giant big freaking steak. But he's like lonely because everyone's busy, and also he sees like animals like have like animal couples, like two poodles or two doves or even another couple like that though, until he feeds a female Saint Bernard named Missy. And the guy who has Missy, he's uncredited in this film though. The character Brilla, played by Kevin Dunn. And the villain of this film, his ex-wife, played by Debbie Mazar, who has also a boyfriend played by Chris Penn, younger brother to actor Sean Penn, who's now passed on, sadly. They're doing this divorce, and she wants the dog because he has the corridor and all that, even though she doesn't like dogs. And she's like she's mean, rude, and bitch basically. And Beethoven goes after them, and to where they live, and Missy jumps over to be with Beethoven, and they like the little tour of the town. And while it's going on, Rice, the older daughter, she's dating this guy named Taylor. Good-looking guy, like kisses her, and she's like all happy and all that. And you get one of my favorite parts of the movie is the song "The Day I Fall in Love," played by played by Dolly Parton and James Ingram. I really enjoy that song. The day I fall, especially when it was playing when Beethoven and Missy were at the drive-in and popcorn, and the song was playing. I really enjoy this song, and the film. One positive thing about this film, the song "The Day I Fall in Love" by Dolly Parton and James Ingram, that it was nominated for an Oscar as well as a Golden Globe and also a Grammy Award for Best Song in a Motion Picture. So yeah, a song in a film like this was nominated for an Oscar. I really enjoy. I wish it would have won, but I don't know what song won during that year though. But I really enjoy that song, "The Day I Fall in Love." I probably said this when I reviewed this. So it does a song like that in a film like this from the '90s. It's just how '90s families or films or whatever like this. I remember, it's just watching it. It's like I just makes me want to. I just miss the '90s. You know, I do, because I was born in the '90s, '91. But it's like that. A song like that, a film like this, just makes me miss like the '90s. I'm just watching that scene at the drive-ins, like with the song playing. It's like I miss the '90s. So, but yeah. And then it's been like 11 weeks later. The younger brother and sister, Ted and Emily, they followed Beethoven to the basement. Then they have a litter of puppies. And Debbie Mazar takes away Missy from the babies. So the two siblings, they get the puppies. Even though when the janitor what David Mazar says, they're purebreds, so you can sell them to a pet shop and make a bundle, make a lot of money. But they took the puppies already, so. And so throughout this whole a little portion of it, them and the older sister, they've been night and day trying to best take care of these puppies, trying to feed them, and they're exhausting themselves. And eventually, when they tell the mom finds out. They didn't want to tell their dad because they know how he would react. And until at the dinner table, he hears little bark noises. He goes down the basement, and it always makes me laugh when they hear Charles Grodin's his reaction. And he's like, "Oh no!" Oh man, that was a priceless reaction. It was how the way he says it's like, "Oh no!" This is hilarious. But eventually he says yes to keeping them, and you have a little montage of them taking care of the puppies, and like when Charles Grodin says to the puppy that goes under the car while the street sweeper blows the water right at him, and Charles Grodin's looking at the puppies like this. And then they're gonna take a vacation, and up to the mountain, this cabin in the mountains. Nice location as well. And then you have that song "The Day I Fall in Love" playing because when Charles Grodin and Nicole Tom were talking, how when Charles Grodin was with Bonnie Hunt when they were in college, how they sent letters to each other, and how he's saying Beethoven's hearing all this, like sometimes being away from someone you love is a hard thing, and then because he's thinking of Missy, and you have the song playing "The Day I Fall in Love Again," and then with Rice she meets this other guy named Seth, and then you get another funny scene with Charles Grodin. He's trying to split some wood with an axe, and she chops the wood, and a piece of it hits the car's headlights. It's like, oh, that's another funny scene. To me, it is. And then later during the night, Rice goes because the Taylors have this big party at his place, and Beethoven's tied up in these douchebags. They starts pouring beer all over Beethoven, and with Taylor, he takes Rice to see like the view, and he locks the door. Now he found out he's a creep now. He wants to do it. Get what I mean? And Beethoven, when he's tied up to the post, he pulls it so hard and pulls the whole front railing of the front part of the house out. The whole front of the house falls out, and Taylor he falls down, and the rest of some of the people too. Even the guests are still in the house. They're like, yeah, and all that. And then at the county fair, the next day is at the county fair, and then you get the little thing with Charles Grodin and Beethoven. They enter this burger eating contest. First, he doesn't want to do it because he's been stuffing himself with other food from before. And then, like, two other guys, like, oh, look at that wimp. Oh, go wimp. And you get curses of him, and Beethoven's like, let's go, big fella. And they start pounding down the burgers, and they win the contest. Beethoven sees Debbie Mazar and knows that Missy's here, so he goes to the car and lets her out. When Chris Penn goes to check, sees they're gone, So they head up the mountains, and Debbie Mazar takes the puppies away from the two younger kids, the brother and sister, and lets the puppies find them, and then you get a funny scene with Chris Penn. Like, he loses balance, he falls over downhill, and he gets his head stuck in a stump, and like Debbie Mazar tries to pull it out, and she falls back, and she starts rolling down the hills. And Chris Penn's like, "Thanks, Virginia." And then they're all at this little top of the cliff with a waterfall, or where it's overseeing the river. And the Newton family, they follow them as well, and they meet everyone on top of the cliff. And Chris Penn has one of the puppies, and Charles Grodin's like, "Put the puppy down." He's like, "You mean this puppy?" Holding it over the cliff. "What kind of a person are you?" "Oh, you don't like me? What kind of a person are you?" And Chris Penn hits Charles Grodin with a stick, and then Beethoven, he goes and just takes a stick and hits Chris Penn in the crotch, and David Mazar tries to grab him, and they both fall over into this mud pit. And then they fall into the river as well, and they get swept down the river. And then it's like about a month or two later, and Charles Grodin has a dream of seeing puppies everywhere, tearing the house apart. And Kevin Dunn comes back with Missy. He came back from court that said the judge threw out Regina's claim, so he gets to keep Missy. And Seth comes in to take Rice on a date, and Kevin Dunn said he wants to see the puppies, and Charles was like, "Puppies!" And then you hear this big rumbling, and then you get the theme, Roll Over Beethoven from the first movie, playing as the puppies are grown up, coming down the stairs. And it was nice to hear that song from the first film. Yeah, "We're gonna mail a letter to our local DJ. Days of rock my chalk you pay. Roll over Beethoven, gotta hear again." I like that song. It was good to hear that what was playing at the end. And then during the credits, you have once again "The Day I Fall in Love" playing. So yeah, this is a more short review because I already reviewed this. So, but 25 just for its 25th anniversary. I still enjoy the sequel. Now, of course, it spawned 3 direct-to-video sequels. Well, another one later in the later years, but 3 and 4. He had Judge Rennell. He plays the brother to Charles Grodin with his family. I didn't care for 3, and I didn't care for the 4th one either. I probably say I like the 5th one a bit more because Dave Thomas. I like Dave Thomas, from Strange Brew with Rick Moranis, and a bit more. I just liked it more. It was more of a treasure hunt with it, and this money that they're trying to find. I think I prefer the 5th one over 3 and 4. 3 and 4 I just didn't care for, but I think I put 5 above those 2 though. But the first 2, 1 and 2, are still the best in the series to me, and this is the only one because this one to get a theatrical release while the rest of them were direct to video. So, but I still enjoy the sequel. The cast once again: Charles Grodin, Bonnie Hunt, David Mazar, Chris Penn, and the 3 kids. They also do a fine job. The score. Who did the score? I forget. The music by Randy Engelman. He's done some scores on films I've watched. Was fine as well, and especially I love the song "The Day I Fall in Love" by James Ingram and Dolly Parton. Just like I said, I miss the 90s. It's on for an hour and 29 minutes, but it's easily fast-paced. It's definitely a fast-paced film. Still a fun family film to this day. For 25 years, for a fun film. Yeah. So more I can say about it. I just with that song. I said I miss the 90s. But anyway, thanks for watching. So I still give it a thumbs up. 25 years later, still a good movie, good sequel. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.